all-seasons dressings you try first is one dilemma. But what do you do when you're down to your last spoonful? Do you use it as a topping or as a filling? As the flourish to a recipe or the garnish for a snack? Do you serve it on the side or spread it in the middle? New Heinz all-seasons dressings. One delicious dilemma after another.
Hey!
Too late.
For a limited period, you can get 13% more fresh, natural Maxwell House for the same price. Thank you.
Sorry.
It's the same Maxwell House, but you get this much free. Hang on a second. What are you playing at?
I'm just making room for the new bigger jar. Well, how much is 13%? Well, that's all right then.
13% extra Maxwell House. No extra cost.
There's about 30 big squirts in a can of Anchor Real Dairy Cream. You could go bananas.
Real Dairy Cream from Anchor.
Marathon is marvellous. You can eat it in the street, at home, in the office, anywhere.
When I'm really hungry, Marathon's just right. It's absolutely perfect.
Fills the old tum, you know.
Nougat and caramel, packed with peanuts, all covered in delicious milk chocolate. That's Marathon.
It's very nutty, it's very filling.
Packed with peanuts, Marathon really satisfies.
Keeps your hunger at bay. Keeps my hunger at bay, anyway.
Now on Granada, more expert advice to make your home look its best in Homestyle.
Hello and welcome back to Homestyle. This is the second program in our series, which is designed to help you design the interiors of your home. Back again is Hilary Green, our resident interior designer, who's giving us practical ideas on what can be done in a wide variety of different room situations. But again, we do want to stress that her designs, although of course they work extremely well, they're not the last word. We just hope that you'll be able to adapt her ideas to your own particular situation at home. Now, last week we looked at quite a large room in a two-room studio flat, which had to be used as a kitchen as well as a living room. But this time we're moving to a small, more modern house on a new estate, where we're reckoning on using each room for just one main function, but where, of course, the rooms are much smaller to begin with. Hilary.
Thank you, Paul. The high cost of buying a house these days means that many people have to buy something smaller than they would like. To start with, a young couple with a baby will need that extra bedroom, but in order to afford the number of rooms, they have to accept that each one will be small. This estate is still being completed, and it has a range of different houses with 1, 2, or 3 bedrooms. In the next 3 programs, we're going to look at living rooms, bedrooms, and kitchen dining areas in just one of these smaller houses. Starting today with the living room. Paul and I saw this house at very much the stage that a prospective buyer would see it, because the sale is often made before any decoration is put on the walls, and the buyer can choose his or her own colours.
There we go. Ooh, it's good to get in out of the cold.
Right.
Right. Well, here we have your typical high-density housing situation, space at a premium. What do you plan on doing with this room here?
Oh, well, I think, well, the first thoughts there when I saw the room were, my God, it would have to be very neat and tidy, the people that come to live in here.
Right.
No clutter. I think the most difficult feature about a very small room is I think you've got to be very careful in choosing the furniture that it isn't going to be too large. I'd be very tempted to draw a floor plan and actually measure the furniture first and play around with little sort of squares on a grid. And I think just to be really, really careful that the furniture doesn't swamp the room and you've got no room to move, no room to no space.
Yeah. What about floor covering, Hilary? A fitted carpet to give an illusion of space, perhaps?
Yes, I think carpet, because I think once you start having floorboards and too many rugs, and it's a concrete floor, so I think fitted carpet would be the best.
Would you advocate the use of mirrors? For that? That's often used, isn't it, to create space as well?
Yes, possibly.
Bearing in mind that this is probably a young couple, there's a small garden out the back there, so possibly with a baby, does that influence the kind of furniture you would recommend for a room this size?
I think I'd work out the functions of the room first. You need seating, number one. You need some sort of table, coffee table, some sort of storage, shelving units, lighting, no clutter. I don't think it could be a couple that could collect lots of knickknacks and bits and pieces because you just wouldn't have anywhere to put them.
What about your focal point that you always advocate for a room? What would your focal point be?
We haven't got a fireplace in here. I think I'd make my focal point a seating. Very strong coloured, interesting seating unit, which I think would have to be, wouldn't have to be, but I think the best position for it would be along here. I think that would create a focal point for the room.
Well, quite a dominant feature in this room, of course, is this open staircase. Are you able to do something with this, perhaps?
Well, I think it's useful, the space underneath the staircase. Be used for extra storage space. Could have a work table. Could do your sewing. Could be a sewing area, desk area. Could even be a small dining area. Then it's not a waste of space at all.
So basically, the rules are keep it plain and simple, uncluttered, and light colours and plain patterns.
I don't think the colours have to be very light. You could have primary colours. You could have really bright colours. But I don't think you'd want to have too much pattern in this room. Or keep it to solid colours.
I really look forward to seeing what you do with this room.
Great.
Is it much harder to design for a small room than it is for a larger area?
Definitely. Very difficult.
Yeah.
But I'm going to show you now just some ideas that I've put together for, this particular room. Very small room. But I'll just start off, I'll show you.
I recognise this from the opening credits of the show, of course. This is the,
yes.
Yeah.
Staircase is very dominant in this room. Come in through the front door, and this is the view that we were just looking at on the screen a second ago.
Right.
So let's start with scheme number one. This is how we started with this idea. First of all, I chose the wall colours, pale grey, and this vinyl flooring. Although we talked about having fitted carpets, I really felt that if people didn't want that initial outlay of, spending that money on carpets to begin with,
yeah,
vinyl flooring with rugs could look rather nice. This is the grey flooring, which has this sort of raised design on it. It's really nice.
Right.
And pale grey walls. Love pale grey. Gorgeous. But just picking out here the bright red skirting, and that's a Venetian blind, but a very fine Venetian blind.
Yeah.
Not the sort of normal size. I've chosen the red light switch.
Because we're assuming, as I say, that the people living here with this new house will be buying new furniture and buying new decor, so they can start with a plain canvas, as it were.
Absolutely,
yeah?
And it can be perfect. Then, my starting point for this design, really my initial workings on the whole thing was really started with this sofa and the chair, because I love this bright red cover and the black metal frame. Two-seater sofa and a single chair. Focal point. Then I thought of it, what can we do with the window area? We've got our Venetian blind, but why not have this sort of double-tone sort of curtains? It's just a plain chintz. This would be the colours. Red, grey, grey, red.
I haven't seen that before. When they're drawn, is the centre strip sort of grey?
It'd be grey, yes.
Yeah.
Against the red chair.
I like the way you picked out the red with the light fitting as well. Then.
And the curtain pole.
Yeah.
But the point being, with a Venetian blind, the curtains could just be dress curtains. I mean, it isn't absolutely necessary.
Again, a money-saving feature as well.
black lamp. Looks rather nice against the curtains as well. Then we come to the storage. This black metal trolley, have your portable television set, nice curlicue cord there leading to the red plugs, and this black storage unit, which would be to house your stereo. Smashing on the wheels, because you can just move them around the room.
Quite important in a restricted space to have that kind of flexibility. That and the glass top coffee table.
Yes,
there.
you see the carpet designed through.
Gives a feeling of space.
Picking out the grey again with the cushions, and the red metal frames on the pictures.
Well, that looks great, but not what you finally decided on, no?
No, but you like my bag lights?
Well, yes,
they're
well,
really interesting.
I wasn't going to ask, actually. What is that, actually?
Well, they're designed by a Japanese designer. And what it is, it's a plastic
Oh, we've got them on screen now.
shape, like a cushion pad.
Those are the colours
Cushion
that are
without
available.
a pad. Yes.
Yeah.
They're like blobs.
Yeah. They're not a rigid structure, then? They're...
No, it's just this nylon cover, like a cushion cover, without the pad. And then you put the light bulb inside.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
great.
fun. Nice.
Just highlight the room there.
Okay.
So that's one idea.
Yeah. Right, we've got
So I
your
put this
second
back
design
again here.
here.
Plain canvas again to start. This case, same grey walls, but this time I chose. Must be no.
This
It's rather nice.
loop
Tweed.
pile.
Yes, isn't
Yeah.
that lovely? Soft grey and white. Really nice. So that would be for the floor. And then this time I thought if you didn't want to have seating units, I mean a sofa and a chair, you could have this rather nice seating unit arrangement.
Yes, you don't have the flexibility of the last design, but of course it's tailor-made for this kind of room. It uses all the space that is available.
And I think it makes a cosier seating area. And this time I've chosen black storage units, one stacked above the other here, and a low storage units for the television set here. And how about the sag bag?
Yes,
Isn't that
I
lovely?
like the red trim as well, picking up
lovely?
the red on the blinds and cushions.
I think this looks rather nice.
Ah,
Curtains?
could these be they?
Yes.
That's
The
nice
fabric.
pinstripe.
It's not lovely. With the red blind. It's quite a strong area, that end of the room, but I think it's not a very interesting window, so I think that this sort of helps.
I like the way you can contrast with the grey background. You can really go for really strong, bold colours, can't you, with the...
With greys, primary colours.
Yeah.
You don't have to, but this is just one way of sort of working out. Isn't that nice?
Right. Very nice. Okay. What else? I mean, I know that you've worked on a lot of designs for this room.
Well, we've got some
Do you have
other
any
ideas
examples
to
that we
show
can have a
you
look at?
now. Yes. Got some transparencies here to show you other sort of room
Yeah.
schemes.
Oh, now that looks very Mayfair,
Very traditional.
but expensive, surely.
No, it isn't, because ready-made curtains, wallpaper and cushions are all from one of our sort of main stores.
Really?
Small sofa.
It's a nice traditional look, isn't it?
Well, there's no reason why in this room you couldn't have a traditional look. I've shown a modern look because maybe that was my favourite.
Oh, now that looks very,
Natural colours, soft colours,
very mellow.
very...
Looks a bit of a
nice.
bachelor pad to me, Hilary, there.
With the knitting on the floor.
Oh, well, I've got some funny friends. No, it's very, very cosy, though. It's
Lovely.
very warm.
And this feature was called the Metal Urge.